Why do 95% of businesses fail in the first 10 years? I'm going to share with you the 10 reasons why it happens and some things that you can put in place to ensure it doesn't happen to you. So point number one is this. The reason why a lot of businesses fail fundamentally is because they have inadequate funds in order to get started. They haven't really understood what's required to get them going. They haven't understood what's required to get the business started in the first place, the people costs, the resources costs, the cost to get things moving. I've created a business recently in South Africa and it takes more money than you think to get started, to employ people, to get things going before you bring income in. Most businesses don't have the inadequate funds in place in all their funds and reserves to get things going. If you haven't got funds in place, it can affect your reputation. You start cutting shortcuts and that can, over time, potentially cause damage for you. So that's point number one. Point number two is a simple one. It's cash flow. If you don't bring money into your business and you've got money going out of the business, you're going to go out of business. So the reality is, become an expert at cash collection. Be able to focus on the debtors that you owe money, who owe you money, and be in a position where you can make sure that money comes through on a regular basis and you don't get burned by people going out of business owing you money. Cash flow is king. It kills so many businesses. Don't let it kill yours. Point number three is no demand is created before a new service or product is launched. I see on a regular basis where companies will often just spend huge amounts of money on a new offering or putting something in place that they think is going to work. And yet what they haven't done is actually to realise whether there's actually any market demand for that service. The reality is, someone might have thought the square wheel was a good idea, but the round one was already in place and most people were happy with it. So before you start spending lots of time and money and putting things in place that can maybe seen as innovative and new products, but that to get no one interested, build demand. Build a waiting list or do some research to find out what people are interested in and what's driving them to buy things and what they're currently using right now. Focus on doing those things before investing huge amounts of money in things that are vanity projects and won't go anywhere. That's a massive waste of cash and that potentially cause your business to fail. Well, point number four, linking on to that one, is also make sure you do innovate. So many companies just fail because they just don't innovate enough properly. They don't see what's coming down the line and they think that the world's staying as it is. And the reality is it's passed them by. As things change in 2025 with AI and new technologies coming through, we've all got to innovate to stay ahead of the curve and to make sure customers continue to buy from us. The reality is those businesses that don't innovate, and Nokia and BlackBerry and Blockbuster were good examples of that. The reality is these companies failed because they just didn't stay ahead of the times. There was a great quote I once learned, which was the job of a CEO is to look out the window and keep seeing the world go by. What that means is you've got to keep seeing what's happening out there in order to ensure that you stay ahead of that curve. If you haven't got that innovation, if you're not taking the time to have away days and think and brainstorm and look at ways in which you can improve things, it's going to cause challenges for you and potentially it's going to cause you to be in a position where your products, your services you're selling get overtaken by others. Take time to innovate. It's critical. So point number five is this, a lack of a vision. Now you might think, well, why is that going to stop companies from going out of business? And the reality is the vision that you have and what I call that position, your North Star of where you're trying to get to, is so critical when it comes to business. So much of the time we make decisions and we forget what is it we're trying to actually achieve? What's our ultimate goal? What we're trying to get to? And your North Star, your vision should be where you're going to be and should be your compass when you're making tough decisions. And especially when you go through tough times, it also enables you to focus on the things that really matter. Companies that have no vision or no clear picture of where they want to be and what they're trying to achieve tend to fall by the wayside. But people have a story, a vision that excites and makes their team and their customers come alive are the companies that tend to stay alive and grow and get bigger. So focus on that vision, focus on creating something that means something to people, and you're going to hopefully see people come to you, people want to work for you, it's going to hopefully take the business forward and enable you to survive and thrive. Point number six is ineffective marketing. The reality is in business, we've got to be able to share our story. We've got to go and tell our prospects and the people that we want to work with who we are and what we're about. I've just invested this week in some great new marketing people. One of them standing behind the camera right now. And the reality is if we don't invest in marketing resources with expertise and knowledge to help us grow and tell our story, the reality is we're going to get left behind by people that are doing that are creating a narrative in the mind of a buyer or a prospect that makes them think, I like this company, I want to work with them. And that consistency and those expertise and those knowledge cost. We've got to invest in there to get the results. But if we invest and put time and effort into it and come back to our vision and share a story that excites people through great, effective, consistent marketing, we're going to get the right results. But also make sure that your marketing's not overly complicated. I go back to the simple things that Donald Trump's done in the election this year. Make America great again, simple messages, and he's used that. I'm not saying I agree with him, but it's used that time and time again, and it's used and it's resonated with people because they haven't got time to remember lots of different things. So invest in effective marketing. It's a critical thing if you want to make sure your business stays alive. And of course, you need money to do that. But look at ways in which you can show the return on investment it gives you, show the impact how it generates leads, how it generates opportunities. It'll be a worthwhile investment for you to make. So point number 7 is lack of proper management. One of the biggest challenges that organizations have is they don't build management structures. And that means it relies on the owner or the founder to do so many things. And if that person then gets tired or has other priorities or burns out, things don't get achieved and done, and therefore the business starts to fold away and collapse. And the best way to avoid that is to build a management structure. Build the continuity and consistency you want. Train and educate those managers to be able to and be authorized to make decisions based upon the culture and the values that you've set. And if you build that management structure and you look after people in the right way, you can hopefully then be in a position where they can do and deliver on the things you want them to do and work in the way you need them to, rather than you have to do everything. And if you're in a position where you as a business owner or a leader have to do everything, the chances are the business is going to collapse underneath you. And we want to avoid that happening. So build a management structure, build a team that's got skills, that's got leadership, that's got the ability to inspire people and work with clients and generate your business. And it's going to help you not just stay alive, but grow and build the business that you want. And point number 8, if we link to the lack of management, is not being able to delegate. So many leaders just want to do everything themselves, or they micromanage, or they don't let people get on. The reality is people are going to fail, especially in companies. And if you haven't got systems and structures in place that enable you to delegate certain jobs and tasks, then the reality is people are going to struggle to get those things done. You've got to be able to let people breathe and get on and do things, but have the support mechanisms to ensure if they do make a mistake, you back them up and support them. But if you don't delegate, if you try and do this alone, or if you try and build an empire on your own, you're going to fail. Great companies need to build processes, systems, and structures, and then delegate that to people enrolled to do those jobs. And if you start doing that well and build those processes and systems to work within your business, you'll be able to scale, grow, and focus on the things that matter, which are taking your business to the next level rather than being in the business. Try it. Point number 9 is businesses don't plan. They're inefficient in understanding how the business is going to operate. They don't foresee what might happen in the future. They don't take time to take a step back and look at what's going on around them. They're focused on actually just get it down and doing things rather than taking time to plan. And perfect planning prevents poor performance. And we've got to be in a position in lots of areas around our services, around our teams, around our customers, around our business. We've got to take time to plan, take the time out, look at what could happen, make sure we really use some time to give ourselves some chance to think, and really make sure we can plan different scenarios and situations to ensure that if things happen, we can deal with them. Inefficient planning is a key way, especially when it comes to numbers and business and sales. It's a thing that stops companies growing and in fact it causes them to fail. Put that in place, stop that from happening, put plans in place and bring people in that can help you deliver the plans, and you're in a better position to survive and succeed. And point number 10 is this: you need a sales plan. I don't care what anyone says, sales is the most important thing in your business. If you don't bring business in on a regular basis, then the chances are you're not going to grow. And you'll fail because you won't bring that cash in that helps you do so many different things. And so much of that starts because you haven't got a sales plan. So many companies just don't know what to do to generate business and how to make it happen. And the implications of that for them are that they end up drifting into trying to achieve different things in different places and they get nothing done. Put in place a sales plan that achieves success for your business, that has targets, that has clear target customers, that has a journey to take the prospects on, and be in a way that you can engage with them in a way that matters to them, and you're going to hopefully create new opportunities, new business that you can then close, and then that will help you grow in a consistent, effective way. Build a sales plan that works, and add those to the other 10 elements that I've added, and those are going to be the 10 things going to help your business survive and ensure that you don't fail and go through what so many businesses do. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, like, subscribe to the channel. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with the 10 points I've mentioned? What would you add to that list? Let me know in the comment section below. But put these things in place for your business. We want to avoid you being a statistic and failing. And if you do these elements and take time to make sure you continue to invest in yourself and learn and develop as a business person, you're going to be successful, I'm sure. Thanks for watching. See you next week.